Welcome into another episode of Ravens Reports. It's your guy Noah here with For the Flock, as always bringing you guys our top 5 news reports and storylines coming out of our Baltimore Ravens today. The Ravens OTAs are officially kicking off tomorrow. Odafe Oweh just jumped off of a boat in a backflip fashion, and will he take the big next jump after having 10 sacks in 2024? What will he do in a contract year in 2025? Plus, a look at the Baltimore Ravens corner room and a surprising stat from last season. Who will be the primary starters? What impact will Odafe Oweh have? And also a look at some of the competitions going on starting tomorrow in OTAs, when we're going to have some live bullets really flying, the type of impact these rookies like Mike Green could have, as well as a surprising report about a Baltimore Ravens rookie. Plus, you're not going to want to miss what Derrick Henry had to say about the Baltimore Ravens this year winning a Super Bowl, and about a message that he's going to send specifically to the team when they get a chance to come together. We got all that and more, so let's go ahead and dive into the content. At number 1, Odafe Oweh, living it up on vacation. We know this is the time of year players get away from the facility. They go, they relax, they de-wind. But a lot of guys also at the same time relax and still putting in work. And Odafe Oweh, check out this jump, this backflip off the boat, man. I don't know where he's at exactly, but I just thought, as soon as I saw this, I was like, literally, he's jumping off a boat, but can he make the jump into next season? Can he make another jump like he has? There's no doubt about it that Odafe Oweh made some big splashes on the field last year. Some big timely third down sacks. It's not easy to get double-digit sacks in the NFL, and Odafe Oweh did that with 10 sacks in his 4th season. His rookie season, he had 5 sacks. In 2022, he had 3 sacks. In 2023, he went back up to 5 sacks, and then in 2024, had his real first breakout season with double-digit sacks, 10 sacks, 39 tackles, also had a forced fumble and 9.5 stuffs. We know Odafe Oweh, coming out of college, had one of the most absurd athletic profiles as an outside linebacker coming out of college at his height at 6'5", with that length, combined with his absolute rocked up build and his weight at over 250 pounds, plus running a 4.36 40 is just absolutely absurd. We knew he was relatively raw coming out of college, but he has improved. And Chuck Smith, the outside linebackers coach, also known as Dr. Rush, has really helped Odafe Oweh, get into his true form. He also had more opportunities to rush the passer last year because Jadeveon Clowney left in free agency. So both Kyle Van Noy and Odafe Oweh both notched double-digit sacks this last season. And Odafe Oweh, if he takes just another step up, and we know there was times where he had the quarterback in his hands and let him slip away, or he just barely missed the sack. There was times where he got pressure. He had one of the highest pass rush win rates and a 73 pass rush grade, according to PFF, but was not able to always convert those pressures into sacks. If he could just convert a few more, we're talking, and if he could just get a little bit better, a little bit more consistent and more refined as he's been improving, as he was a relatively raw player coming out of college, we're talking about a guy that could be a true breakout. Not just right now. I see Odafe Oweh as like an above average pass rusher. I think he's better than average, but I don't think he's a star yet, right? I think he's kind of in that middle between good and great. He's just above average, and he has the tools and the capabilities of going into that elite level status, especially with those physical tools, and still learning and having the defensive system and the other guys around him. He could really have a breakout season if he just got a little bit better. And imagine what that could look like if Odafe Oweh takes a big step and then Mike Green turns out the way we think he could turn out. We could have a very lethal pass rush, especially when you factor in the interior guys we have, like Travis Jones going into a contract year, and Nnamdi Madubuike, who's a very elite interior pass rusher in his own right. We're talking about a Ravens pass rush that could be very effective in those 4-man rushes, not having to always send blitzers to get home after the quarterback. Before we get on to number 2, it's just funny because I just had to show you this clip right here. I just saw this and I was like, man, Bateman, I see you, man. Look at Rashad Bateman just absolutely leveling this 270-pound defensive end, trying to rush the quarterback, protecting his quarterback in Lamar Jackson. Not only does he catch passes, but look at this block. I absolutely love it. I watched it like 20 times over and was just like, man, how did he put that guy on his butt like that? Rashad Bateman did some good work, not just as a pass catcher last year, but he got a little bit gritty last season. Shout out to Rashad Bateman. I think he's going to have a massive season, speaking of breakout type of players. But at number 2, I want you guys to check out this stat right here, because there was a couple of cornerbacks last year that allowed the lowest passer rating in the NFL when targeted in 2024. And this is a minimum of 50 targets, by the way. 2 of these guys on the list are Baltimore Ravens. So this secondary, now with Marlon Humphrey, with another healthy season, hopefully he's coming back. He had a great healthy year. He's been healthy. And then Nate Wiggins into year 2, maybe adding a little bit more size and strength onto his frame, and then the experience he has now with Zach Orr's defense, plus the second year with a new coordinator from last year. That adds a lot of continuity, plus the secondary coach added with Chuck Pagano, plus Malachi Starks added into the mix. A first-round, very talented playmaking safety. We're talking about a secondary that could be a real deal secondary. We're talking about, and like we said, with the pass rush, you pair that up with a nice secondary, man, we're talking about an elite defense the Ravens could be trotting out on the field week in and week out to really go and try to get that number 1 seed. And ultimately, at number 3, let's talk about what Derrick Henry had to say about winning the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate prize, the ultimate goal. Derrick Henry says he's going to talk to the team when he gets a chance. He said, that's the message I'm going to tell the Ravens when I get a chance to talk to the team. And he's about to have that chance if the guys are there at OTAs. But I want you guys to check out this clip from Derrick Henry. We'll probably put a couple of highlights from his recent interview on the Lounge podcast. Man, here's what Derrick Henry had to say.
I value this organization, and I'm very thankful that they value me, and very thankful that we were both able to get something done. And I want to win a championship here, and that's why I came here. The core on offense, the talent that we have just gives everybody opportunity to make plays, and that's what makes it so fun, and a lot of young guys that make me feel young as well. So yeah, I mean, because the stigma once you get to 30, right. Man, it's they're ready to throw you to the wolves. But I try not to focus too much on the age and focus more on the work. You look back at that time, and running backs were at the bottom of the totem pole, and it was kind of looking rocky for us. And running up the hill is I probably do more of those than I do with the chains. The chains I do about three of those and I'm done. I take the chains off.
How heavy are the chains?
They heavy, especially when you get up to the middle and trying to get up to the top of the hill. You're like, ooh wee. I look back down like, I don't know if I'm gonna get back up here again. Yeah, I'm serious now. I want to win. I think we can win one here, and that's what I want to do. I am confident, and that's what I'm focused on, and I'm gonna emphasize that. When I get a chance to talk to the team, because I want to win. I want to win it, and I think we can win it here. We will win it here.
Derrick Henry, the perfect addition to this team, not only as a playmaker and a physical tone-setting running back, that embodies the Baltimore bully mentality, but the professionalism, the leadership, and the work ethic that he displays and he models for the rest of the team is something you can't really put a price on. The rest of these young guys, the rookies coming in, the second-year guys, getting to see that type of work ethic, what it looks like, to be a future Hall of Famer we're talking about in Derrick Henry, who's 1,300 yards away from cracking into top 10 rushers of all time in the NFL. Absolutely absurd, man. I love that the Baltimore Ravens recently extended him as well. But at number 4, let's talk about OTAs, because the Ravens rookies will be getting a chance to show what they can do out there in the field. The guy I'm most excited to see, probably, I know a lot of people, it's the first-round pick of Malachi Starks. I'm fired up to see Mike Green, man. Mike Green, this could be the, next Terrell Suggs as far as talent profile. Like, the guy who can consistently get after the quarterback and be a game wrecker as an outside linebacker, an elite-level rusher. I'm not trying to put that on him. I understand Terrell Suggs is probably going to be a Hall of Famer, and he's a Ravens Ring of Honor guy. But I'm just saying, we haven't had a elite pass rusher that we can trust to get double-digit sacks every single season that we've drafted since Terrell Suggs. I'm saying he could be that next type of player where he's getting after the quarterback with double-digit sacks. We're expecting that because of the talent. He should have been a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. But we know why he fell. That doesn't matter. Fresh slate, clean start here with the Ravens. The Ravens gave him his shot. What will he do with it? We'll get a chance to see what he'll do with it when it all starts in OTAs. I'm fired up to see him. It's also reported at number 5. We'll go back to the OTAs here in a second, but at number 5, it's reported that it's not out of the question. This is from The Athletic. It's not out of the question that 4th-round inside linebacker Teddy Buchanan pushes Trenton Simpson for the starting weak side linebacker job. So I think this is a wide open competition between Trenton Simpson and Teddy Buchanan. Here's the thing. They're both crazy physical specimens. When I went to Ravens training camp and I got to see these guys up close in person, I just remember thinking, dude, Trenton Simpson, he just looks different. He stands out as a physical specimen. His quads are massive. His body's rocked up. He's 6'3". He's taller than most linebackers, but he's also got legit like 4'4", 4'5" level speed. He's a physical freak. Now, he got a little bit fatigued as the season went on, I think mentally trying to process stuff. But, he has another year to learn. He was still relatively raw. That was why he went in the 3rd round with those physical tools instead of, the 1st or 2nd round. But Trenton Simpson has a opportunity right in front of him to go and get that starting job. He's a freak. But Teddy Buchanan is also a freak, and the dude had an absurd amount of tackles, over 100 tackles. I think it was about 5 sacks as well last year. And he also has a crazy relative athleticism score and was a playmaker, flying around in college. And this guy is the real deal as well. So either way, the Ravens are going to have a super athletic, freaky linebacker next to Roquan Smith. It'll be fun to watch these two guys battle it out for the starting spot. Obviously I give the starting nod, the edge to win the job at Trenton Simpson because he got some starting experience last year. Plus he had a whole offseason to study. And, Zach Orr, the defensive coordinator, was his linebackers coach the year before, so he can get some extra help there. But regardless, I'm excited to see who gets this starting linebacker spot week 1 Sunday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills, or if they kind of do a rotation approach and see how we go. But also some other storylines: who will get the first shot at left guard? We know there's a competition there. We got Andrew Voorhees. He's probably the early favorite, but we also have Ben Cleveland returning, and then we also have a couple of draft picks added into the mix. 3 offensive linemen taken in this last draft. However, Emory Jones, I don't think he'll be ready to play yet. He was dealing with that shoulder injury, but he should be ready to go for training camp. But Emory Jones, there are some big expectations for him, a 3rd-round pick, offensive lineman. The Ravens, if they're taking offensive linemen in the top 3 rounds, they think something of you. They think highly of you because they've been able to find a lot of gems in those 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, even undrafted guys like Makari. But if they take you in the top 3 rounds, they think a lot of you. So I'm excited to see how this offensive line shakes out. 4 of the 5 starters are returning, so I think there'll be more continuity there, especially as the season starts. But what other battles are you looking at in OTAs? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm excited to see what Chidobe Awuzie does, how he looks. Will he be the starter opposite of Nate Wiggins on the outside, so that way Marlon Humphrey can stay inside as the nickel back, as that nickel slot cornerback? We know John Harbaugh said he likes Marlon Humphrey on the inside, and he doesn't think there's a better inside cornerback than Marlon Humphrey in the NFL. He was clear about that earlier in the offseason. So smash the like button if you got any value out of today's content. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.
When he wasn't looking, he ran me over.